If you're thinking of moving to San Antonio, Texas, you might want to watch this entire video. This is everything you need to know about San Antonio living. Hey there, I'm Mark Gonzalez, your go-to guy for all things San Antonio living. With over 40 years as a local, I've definitely got the inside scoop. Plus, I'm a licensed real estate pro, so hit me up directly on my cell for any burning questions. So if you're thinking of relocating to San Antonio, Texas, you're probably wondering, what is it like living in the Lone Star State, right? In San Antonio, people seem to think we're all rocking cowboy hats, cruising around on our horses, and tending to our ranches. Well, hold on to your horses. Being a cowboy and a cowgirl in San Antonio is more than just a wild, wild west fashion statement. We've got a few surprises up our sleeve. Get ready because I'm about to spill the beans on San Antonio living and spill the details about the sweet life here in the Alamo City. So don't go anywhere. There's some juicy information coming your way. All right, guys, let's dive into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the power grid in Texas, right here behind me. If you don't know, Texas has its own independent power grid, which is ran by ERCOT, which is an American organization that operates over 92% of Texas's power electrical load. The rest of the United States is divided by the Eastern power grid, and the other half is the Western power grid. So Texas is the only state that has its own independent power grid, which can kind of be awesome, but at the same time, not so awesome. Don't ask me why. I don't know why it's set up that way, but let me tell you the pros and the cons of this situation. The biggest advantage of having our own power grid is that if the rest of the world loses power for some reason or another, Texas will not be affected. It will continue to run independently. On the other hand, because it's independently ran by Texas, it's not as well funded as one that is ran by half of the United States. So it definitely hasn't been as reliable as we'd like. Do you recall winter 2021? It was definitely one for the books. Texas faced one of its harshest winters ever. The chill was insane, and we've witnessed more snow than we ever thought possible in the Lone Star State. To add to the drama, the power grid decided to take a break, leaving millions in the dark for a couple of days, including myself. Texas had never experienced weather like that, so we definitely were not prepared, and neither was the power grid. Luckily, me and my family do a ton of camping throughout the year, so I had plenty of gas, a few generators, and all the things we needed to survive through this treacherous storm. But not everyone was so lucky. Over 200 people lost their lives as a result of this catastrophe. It was truly, truly very sad. Most people learned a very valuable lesson in 2021, and now we are way better prepared just in case this happens again. My recommendation is buying a generator if you can afford one, just to be on the safe side. Following that nightmare, Texas has passed 2 bills aimed to revamping and revitalizing the entire power grid. Allocating millions of dollars, the state has committed to upgrading and weatherizing the entire power infrastructure. These bills mandate enhancements in our weatherization for power generators and transmission lines, as well as upgrades to generators and equipment, all geared towards making the entire power grid significantly more reliable. We truly won't know if this will ever happen again, and I pray that it never does. But from what I understand, our power grid is stronger than ever and should be able to withstand even the harshest storms. Me personally, I'm just going to be prepared for the worst. My wife laughs at me and says that I'm being dramatic and that I'm really stocking up for a zombie apocalypse. I just laugh it off, but if the day ever comes that the power grid does go down again, they'll be thanking me for all my preparations, and that's for sure. Honestly, overall, I think we're in good standing with the recent grid upgrades, so don't let this scare you off. And if you have questions about this, please give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about it. All right, the next thing is location. San Antonio is pretty much located right in the middle of Texas, which is great for so many reasons. As you may or may not know, driving all of Texas is crazy long. Usually can take anywhere from 12 to 16 hours if you have to drive from one end of Texas to the other. So being centrally located eliminates a lot of drive time if you have to travel within Texas. Also, because we're centrally located and a good distance from any large pools of water, we don't really experience any extreme flooding, hurricanes, tornadoes, or natural disasters like other areas within Texas. The worst thing we get out here is a little wind and a little rain from time to time. We're literally 2 hours from multiple beaches like Port Aransas, Rockport, Corpus Christi, and South Padre Island. We're also just about 1 hour from Austin, Texas, and 3 hours from Houston, Texas. and a few hours from Dallas. So if you want to travel to a vacation spot or a party location, you're just a hop skipping away. One of the biggest problems for me living in San Antonio is that the allergies are really bad out here, and that's the God's honest truth. San Antonio is ranked as the nation's 5th worst city for seasonal allergies. San Antonio's worse than average allergy season is due to its year-round warm climate, meaning that even when the season for the allergen ends, another one begins, leaving those suffering from seasonal allergies like myself with itchy eyes and runny noses pretty much year-round. I personally take allergy medicine daily, and I do get a yearly steroid shot around December timeframe because that is when it gets the worst for me. Again, it doesn't usually affect most people, but for those of you that are extra sensitive to allergens, then you might have to reconsider living in San Antonio, Texas. Guys, we get phone calls all the time, and we absolutely love it. We are the top relocation team here in San Antonio. Make sure to give us a call, even if you just have questions. My information is right here on the screen below. One of the things you could definitely count on if you're living in San Antonio is keeping more of those dollar bills in your pocket, because San Antonio is extremely affordable. In fact, overall, San Antonio is about 12% more affordable than the national average and more affordable than the city of Austin, Corpus Christi, Dallas, and the city of Fort Worth and Houston. San Antonio, Texas gets a best places cost of living index of 91.3%, which means the total cost of housing, food, childcare, transportation, healthcare, taxes, and other necessities is about 8.7% lower than the US average. You can literally buy a brand new 3-bed, 2-bath home with about 2,000 square feet for about $250,000 out here in San Antonio, and that's just about anywhere in San Antonio. The median typical home costs about $255,000, which is about 24.7% less expensive than the national average of $338,000, and 14.4% less expensive than the average home in Texas, which validates what I've always said, which is that this is the #1 reason most people are relocating to San Antonio, Texas, behind employment opportunities. Believe it or not, you can easily live comfortably in San Antonio, Texas, with an annual income of about $48,000 for a small family and about $42,000 for a single person. It's recommended to live a cush life here in San Antonio. Crazy, right? I hear you couldn't even live in a cardboard box with an income like that in places like California or anywhere's up north. Nah, just kidding, but not kidding. That's the truth. And on that note, I want to remind you that I am a licensed real estate pro out here in San Antonio. So hit me up directly on my cell for any burning questions about home pricing or guidance if you're thinking about relocating here to the Alamo City. My information is right here on the screen below. Something else I think you should know is San Antonio is filled with friendly people. I'm retired from the United States Marine Corps, and I've lived all over the United States. And I can honestly tell you with all honesty that San Antonio is definitely the most people-friendly city I've ever lived in, by far. San Antonio is definitely not for the introvert. If you can't stand friendly people, this might not be the place for you. I know this sounds weird, but San Antonio still puts out that small town vibe, even though you're in a big city. Everybody still waves at each other, and when you walk outside of your home, your neighbors will most likely try to start a conversation with you. So if you're an introvert, you might want to reconsider moving to San Antonio. My wife is such an introvert, and it's so funny, and I've said it before, you know, she gets home from work and she literally like just kind of rushes in, goes in through the garage because she don't want to see the neighbors. She don't want to talk to nobody. And it's so funny. Even when she's coming out, it's the same thing. She goes in, rushes into the garage or goes out the front door really quickly, tries to avoid eye contact with the neighbors. And she laughs at me because I'm kind of the opposite. I'm waving at everybody, talking to everybody. And she's like, oh man, she's like, you act like you know everybody. I'm like, no, it's not that. I just, you know, being friendly. There's nothing wrong with that. But she's total opposite from me, and I laugh at it because she's a loving person. She's just not super friendly, trying to start conversations with people. It's just funny to me. So if you don't like to be around friendly people or the friendly people vibe, San Antonio might not be for you. Another thing that is worth mentioning about living in San Antonio is diversity. San Antonio is a very diverse city, so variety is not your thing. Think twice about moving to San Antonio. With a diversity score of 90 out of 100, San Antonio is much more diverse than other U.S. cities. The most diverse area within the San Antonio area's proper boundaries is definitely the east of the city. The least diverse areas are the south parts of San Antonio. I personally love all the different cultures and embrace anybody with a good heart. I especially love all the different types of restaurants and food types that San Antonio has to offer. like Mexican food, Chinese food, Italian, I mean, on and on. I love it all. I strongly believe that it is a diversity and all the different cultures in San Antonio that make Alamo City one of the best places to live in all of Texas. But that might not be for everybody. So if you don't like variety, then you might not want to move to San Antonio because it is definitely diverse out here. I know this video is getting long, but I have one more thing I think you definitely need to know about if you're planning to move to San Antonio, Texas, and that's the weather. Here in San Antonio, we only have 2 seasons, hot summer and not so hot summer. I know that sounds funny, but it's true. In fact, the climate in San Antonio provides a year-round haven for those who love outdoor activities. With over 300 sunny days a year, it's a paradise for those of you that love outdoor activities. Personally, me and my family, we spend, week after week at the beach. We're constantly on the boat fishing. We're always outdoors, so we eat it up. We love this weather. On top of that, we're blessed with warm winters, which means you can say goodbye to the hassle of shoveling snow and icy sidewalks. Instead, you'll find yourself strolling through parks, hitting the golf course, or enjoying outdoor dining, even in the middle of December. Plus, the nightlife out here really comes alive in the warmer months, with street festivals, live music, and an overall energetic atmosphere. So if you thrive in a climate that keeps the sun shining, San Antonio is the golden ticket to your year-round adventure. So this is almost everything you need to know about San Antonio living without getting too long-winded. I have a few other videos that will give you more perspective about living in San Antonio in my channel, so please go check them out. Guys, we have so many people contacting us who are moving here to San Antonio, and we absolutely love it. Honestly, if you're relocating here to San Antonio, we can definitely make that transition so much easier on you. My name is Mark Gonzalez, top real estate agent here in San Antonio, Texas, and my personal cell number is popping up on the screen, and this is how you can get a hold of me. I'm available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I would love for you to call me directly on my personal number whenever you're ready to make that move. Also, I do release new videos every week to give you guys a fresh perspective on life in San Antonio. So if you're still not sure if this is the right area for you, check out my other videos and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day.